Okay, today we are going to start with the distributive property. So our goal today is to simplify an expression using the distributive property. The distributive property is one of the most commonly used properties of all of math. Okay, you're going to start it this year in 6th grade. You will use it in 7th grade. You will absolutely use it in 8th grade. And then in any algebra classes that you take in high school, you will use the distributive property. It's so commonly used, that's why Mrs. Maney still remembers how to do it. Okay? If you ask someone on the street how to do the distributive property, they probably have a decent idea, because that's how often you use it. So do you think it's important to understand how to use the distributive property? Yes, absolutely. Okay? There will be no homework tonight. Yay, right? Okay. Let's look at our guided notes. It says, first one there's this model, and it says, how would you solve for the area of this rectangle? How would you solve for the area of this rectangle? Yeah.
You had 5 plus 7 multiply it by 3.
Good. So we get the, what would this be called here? Colin? The length. And this would be called the, Chris? Width. So how you find the area of a rectangle is length times width. Right? Okay? Like Emilion said, we would add 5 plus 7 to get the length, which is 12. Then what would we do? Mark. 12 times 3. Area equals length times width. Area equals our length is 12 times our width is 3. Area equals 36. Good with that? All right. Now I'm going to show you what this would look like using a numerical expression. 3 parentheses 5 plus 7. Would you all agree that you could use this numerical expression to find the area of this big rectangle? Okay? I've taught you the order of operations already. What would we do first to solve this problem? This right here, this numerical expression. What would we do first to solve for it? Megan?
5 plus 7.
Good, 5 plus 7 because it's in parentheses. Then we would do, Libby? 3 times 12, which is 36. Good with that, right? You've solved for the area using the numerical expressions in the order of operations. Clear? All right, now we're going to show you how to do it using the distributive property. Are you ready? I can feel your excitement.
Oh, yeah.
It feels awesome. All right. This is the same rectangle. It's just taken apart. I want you and your partners and people around you to try to come up with a numerical expression to solve this problem, solving for the area of this picture right here. So please, talk with one another. What do you think you need to do? All right, here we go. How can we solve this picture here? If we combine them, that's what we're solving for the area of the rectangle, but they're split apart. How can we write the numerical expression for this? Find the area. Chris?
3 times 5 plus
Good. So, that's okay. 3 times 5 would give us what? Colin?
15.
Would give us 15, but it would give us the area of the orange rectangle, right? Okay, Chris, keep going.
plus 3 times 7.
Plus 3 times 7. 3 times 7 gives us what? Mark? 21. But what is it? 3 times 7 is finding the column? Area of the purple rectangle. All right? So then, some of you solved them. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3 times 7. So now this is 15 is the area of the orange. 21 is the area of the purple rectangle. So if we were to combine these together, what would the area of these be? 36. Isn't that the same answer as the one we did above? Yes? Okay, so that proves that using the order of operations will give you the same answer as using the distributive property. You just did the distributive property. Okay, I'll show you how. We go back to our numerical expression. 3 parentheses 5 plus 7. What did we do using the distributive property? What was the first thing we did? Libby. That was the first thing we did using the order of operations. Distributive property. What was the first thing we did over here? We did 3 times 5. Are you ready for this? This is distributive property. 3 times 5. I'm distributing the number on the outside to everything on the inside. What operation is in between this 3 and that parentheses? Email. Multiplication. I'm lazy. I don't write that. Most people are lazy. If you don't want to be lazy, put a multiplication sign there. Put a dot. Okay. Then I'm going to distribute the 3 to the 7. What is that going to look like? Chris? 3 times 7. What's going to go in between these two multiplication problems? Right. Yeah, an addition symbol because it's right there in our in between the numbers inside the parentheses. 3 times 5 is 15 plus 3 times 7, which is 21. You get 36. That is the distributive property. Think you can handle that? All right. I told you you're going to do some drawing today. Are you ready to draw? Okay. When you hear the word distributive property, what do you think of? Not taking something away. I would say it's the opposite of that. Huh? Yeah, distributing something. When you distribute something, you pass things out. When you play cards, you distribute cards to people. You pass them out. Okay. Who is a person that distributes things in late December? Libby. Santa. Okay, are you ready for this now? Here's your drawing. Watch carefully.
Wow.
What did I just create? Santa hat. Here is the ball at the end. Here's the part that goes over your forehead. Go ahead and draw. Do this and draw your Santa hat.
I love drawing.
Okay, again, what I said earlier is these arrows are super important. You're passing out, this is your present. The 3, you're passing it to all the people that were on the nice list. People on the nice were inside the parentheses. You're gifting them a 3 with multiplication. You think you can handle a problem using the distributive property? All right, here you go. 5, parentheses, 2 plus 4. Solve this numerical expression using the distributive property. Please do it on the front side. Find somewhere in the front. The back. So, 5, parentheses, 2 plus 4. Who would like to explain how to solve this using the distributive property? If you get it wrong explaining it, is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, it's okay. We've been doing this for now 5 to 10 minutes. Do I expect you to be an expert after 5 or 10 minutes?
Yes.
No, I will tell you that if you do this and make a mistake, you're more likely to learn from that mistake rather than you just sitting there watching someone else do it, or listening to it, or just dozing off, looking out into space. Okay? So challenge yourself to do that, not just in this class, but all classes, to get out of your comfort zone, because once you're out of that comfort zone, you're going to learn and take more away from whatever you're doing. Okay, Bryce, go for it.
5 times 2.
Good, we're distributing the 5 to the 2, so that's 5 times 2. If you did not write this right here, please do. You need to show that. Keep going, Bryce. You're awesome.
We do 5 times 4.
Good. 5 times 4.
We did 5 times 2 is 10. And 5 times 4 is 20. And you add them.
Good. So we have this addition sign up here in the parentheses, and that gets brought down throughout all of it. And the answer is 30. All right. Colin.
Just noticed, like with all this handouts and that, we could just be like dropping off like the plus sign.
Yeah.
Dropping off. Yeah.
Absolutely. Dropping it off. I like it. Lucas.
Is this just a new method, or how is this better than just doing it? Because you get the same answer, you just stick top.
Great question. Did everyone hear what we asked? No. Okay. Why am I teaching this to you? What is the point of this distributive property? Okay. Why wouldn't we just use the order of operations? Okay. The reason is, Lucas, is I'm about to take one of these numbers away and put a variable in. We can't simplify the expression if there's a variable using the order of operations. We have to use the distributive property. Okay? And it'll make a little more sense towards the end of class. Okay? Once we put a variable in, you can't use the order of operations. So that would be my answer, quick answer. We'll show later on. You good with this? You ready to go to the next part? Okay, turn the paper over. Okay, we want to find the area of this whole rectangle. But wait, I want to take 2 columns off. Okay, so it's a subtraction problem now. The numerical expression would be 4 parentheses 7 minus 2. Okay, it's length times width. I'm finding the area of this whole thing. But wait, I don't want 2 columns, so now I'm just finding the area of the orange. So we would take the length, or the width, whatever, it doesn't matter. Put it on the outside, and we're multiplying it by the other one. It was 7, we took 2 away. Now, using the order of operations, what would you do first? Solve for this. Libby. 7 minus 2, you get 5. We multiply that by 4. You get an answer of 20. We all agree with that. Okay, now what I want you to do is the same expression, 4 parentheses 7 minus 2. I want you to solve this using the distributive property. You need to get to an answer of 20. All right, using the distributive property, we are going to distribute or pass out the 4, everything on the inside. Remember, if you don't want to be lazy and you want to put the dot there to help you remember that between those two things you're passing out is multiplication, go for it. Okay? So we have 4 times 7. Distribute the 4 to the 2. That's 4 times 2. Now, what operation goes in between these two multiplication problems? Kara, subtraction. Okay. This is huge. You have to recognize what operation is inside the parentheses. Whatever one is there gets brought down. Okay? We're good with that. Okay. 4 times 7 altogether. 28. Minus 4 times 2. 88. You get an answer of 20. Okay. How do you feel about this? Give me a thumbs up. Honest feel. How do you feel about it? Okay. All right. I'm going to give you some practice problems now. Now, I'm not telling you whether it's addition or subtraction or just randomly thrown out there. You won't have anything other than addition and subtraction inside that parentheses. So just make sure you recognize which one it is. You're going to solve these at the bottom of your guided notes. Give these a try. Alright, I'm going to go over these now. I'm going to do it rather quickly so I can introduce to you something that, like Lucas asked earlier, of why we don't do it. And that's going to make you think all day, the rest of today's day and tonight, about the distributive property. Okay? We'll leave you with cliffhanger. How to do it. Okay? I know you all want to think about distributive property all night tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Alright, I'm distributing the 8 to the 4 and the 8 to the 6. I want to show you a different way to write this. Probably different than what you've done so far. 8 still works. 8 parentheses 4 plus 8 parentheses 6. I use parentheses instead of a dot. It's the exact same thing. These two, both the same thing. Does everyone understand that? Are we good with that? Because I write it like this often. Good? Alright, 8 times 4 altogether is 32. 8 times 6, 48. We're going to add them together and we're going to answer up 80. Nice job. Alright, distribute the 6 to the 8. We get 6 times 8, or 6 times 8. Distribute the 6 to the 2, 2, or 6 times 2. What operation goes in there? There. Subtraction. 6 times 8 altogether is 48. Minus 6 times 2. An answer of
30.
Good? Okay. Alright. This is going to answer Lucas's question and make you think a little more about distributive property before we do. So now, this is more of the type of problems that you will have. Okay, we're not going to use all numbers, because if it's all numbers, we would just use the order of operations in the equation. Okay? Use the distributive property when we have variables. I explained it in numbers because it's easier to do that. Okay? See if you can simplify this expression using the distributive property. Do the exact same thing you've been doing. We just now have a variable x. Do we know what the value of x is? No, so it has to stay x. Okay, but you can simplify it. Give it a try. Okay, here I am. I'm going to explain. What number goes in front of this x? How many x's do we have, Colin? 1. If you want to put a 1 there, you can. Help out. I'm distributing the 5 to the 1x. So 5 times 1. What's the operation between the 1 and the x? Yeah. Multiplication. Okay? Then I distribute the 5 to the 2. 5 times 2. We have addition that is brought down. What can I solve here between 5 times 1 times x? What can I solve? Megan?
5 times 1.
I can solve 5 times 1. So I have 5 times x. Can I do 5 times x? No, because I don't know what x is. So it stays 5x. You'll see it written like this, 5x more than 5 times x. Plus, what is 5 times 2? Can we do that? Yes, we can, which is all together 10 plus 10. That is the distributive property with variables, which you'll use it. This is simplifying that. Awesome job today.